the objective of this module is basically, in the question that I gave you, one of the questions was related to plot some points on a given map. Now, this is a very special feature in Tableau or business intelligence visualization softwares, that if you have, let's say, certain columns in your data set, which can help you plot it on a map, on a world map, then you can generate a visualization on the world map on any country, right? So in the Amazon data set that I gave you guys, there is one column which is called as country. In the country, you have different locations like country, state, and city, and it is related all to the United States. Okay. So now what happens is, using those information, what Tableau does inbuilt is generate something called as latitude and longitude. And with the help of those latitude and longitude values, you can plot the specific country, state, or city on the Tableau visualization. And then you can add into the details marks card. In the marks card, in the details section, you can add things like sales or profit or discount or revenue, whatever you want. So it will help you visualize like infinite number of things on a map. Okay. And suppose you want to analyze things location wise, then this is the best visualization tool that you will get. Okay. So, but that is the very simple application of map. We'll see how to edit the maps. Okay. Working on coordinate points. Okay. So if you are given coordinate points, which is the latitude and longitude, you can basically plot it on in Tableau. Okay. If you want to analyze your data geographically, you can plot your data on a map in Tableau. If you have a spatial question, a map view might be a great way to answer it. What do you mean by spatial question? Spatial question means related to your space or your location wise. Let's say I said, like, which location is generating the most revenue for a particular product. You can get that answer. Okay. But it is not always the case. Okay. Spatial questions can be, which state has the most farmers markets, where are the regions in the US with the highest obesity rate, which metro station is busiest for each metro line in the city, where did the storms move over time, okay, where are the people checking out and returning bikes from their local bike share program. So these are some of the questions which can be answered if you have the geographical location of your geographical location of a particular country, a state, or a city. Okay. Now, there are different kinds of map visualization depending on what you are visualizing. Okay, there is something called proportional symbol map. So in case, let's say you are visualizing the, let's say there is an epidemic, COVID-19. Okay, so you can visualize it on the basis of which location is getting highest infection rate. So you get the number of infections in each location, and then you can plot it across the globe, or even in a particular country also, you can plot it city-wise or state-wise. Okay, so that is an example of a proportional symbol map. Then there is something called as a choropleth map. So suppose during the monsoons, the winds move over the oceans and then strike the Indian subcontinent. Okay, that's the geography behind it. And then the rain starts. But you can analyze it location wise, how the wind speed is drifting and moving across the country. Here the graph is for the United States of America, and you can not only do this, you can do a lot of things like a heat map visualization for the temperature increase and decrease over the period of the summer season, how it has been affecting the entire country. Okay, so that is one example where you can use a choropleth map. So see, these maps are not specific map tools. Okay, Tableau will not say you that you can use proportional symbol map or a choropleth map. Based on the data that you are plotting on the map, you can get these different kinds of maps. So it is completely dependent on the data and the objective which you have to plot. Now there is something called point distribution map. Again, this can be used for something like total rainfall density over the period of the monsoon seasons. Okay, now heat map or density maps, again, you can, let's say you're plotting the traffic route in the city. Okay, then you can plot something like this. Now flow map, this is something like route wise. Suppose you want to plot any kind of routes on your map, then you can use flow maps or path maps. Then there are something called spider maps. So spider maps is basically, think of it like this. Let's say you have started a product sale. Okay, and the that the center for the distribution started at a particular point in the city, and then how the popularity of the product has made way for different locations. So you can plot, okay, for each of the different products, like here you have different colors, like a spider web, you have a web for different colors. Okay, so you can basically plot that which product is going in which direction according to the number of sales. So starting from the center, in which direction, in which locations it is specifically getting uh, audience attraction. Okay, so that are the different kinds of maps you can plot. All of this are extremely dependent on the type of data that you have and the objective of your visualization. Okay, now if we how to see how to work with coordinates data when latitude and longitude details are provided. Okay, so here if you can see in this screenshot, they have provided latitude and longitude data for health facilities in Kibera, okay, which is a country in Africa. So what happens is they have given the latitude and longitude. In our data set, latitude and longitude is not given. It has been generated using other fields in the data set. But here in this data set, latitude and longitude is specifically predefined, and you can use that latitude and longitude for plotting. Okay, so drag the measure of field latitude and longitude onto rows and columns. Note that this gives an outline of the Kenyan map. Okay. So if you just drag and drop the latitude and longitude across the map, you will get just a single point. Okay. That point will denote only the map of Kenya on the world map. Okay. Now what happens is you have to go there and uncheck the aggregate measures. Now this operation will be done if you have latitude and longitude. If there is latitude and longitude given in your data set, and then you drag and drop to get the visualization, you will get this aggregation. Like in the scatter plot, we get an aggregated point, and then we drag and drop something into the color marks card or the detail marks card part to get a distribution of data. So similarly, in the map, if you have latitude and longitude with your in your data set and you plot it using a map visualization, you will get an aggregated point denoting that this is the center of the map. But if you want to unaggregate it, like you want to get points for the various cities or various things, like in this data set what is given is for each latitude and longitude they have given the name of any particular hospital. So when you will unaggregate that data, what you will get is on the entire map of Kenya in the city of Kibera, you will get the plot points for each of the hospitals inside the city. Okay, so that is the meaning of unaggregating it. So if you have a data set with latitude and longitude, then this you can experiment with this. Okay, now what we can do is we can copy Mapbox integration URL for Tableau. So there is a outside third party tool which is called a Mapbox. Okay, now if you have an account on Mapbox, private account or personal account on Mapbox, what you can do is you will get a specific URL. Now suppose if you want to publish this map visualization onto the Mapbox for other people to see, you can copy that URL, paste it into the map. There is an option in Tableau called you can go click on Mapbox here. You have to create an account on Mapbox. Okay, then you go on to Tableau, get integration URL. Okay, you have to copy this URL and use it. You go click here, background maps, map services, you will select Mapbox. Inside the Mapbox, you will again get an option to paste your URL. Okay, and then okay, what happens is after this your entire map will be plotted onto the Mapbox. This is an outside third party tool which you can integrate into Tableau for better visualization results. See, before the Mapbox integration, if you can see here, we just had the plot points for the various hospitals in the city. But after the Mapbox integration, what happens is you can get little locations like the like forest areas or the golf club or the lake inside the city or some other locations inside, like specific locations inside the city can also be plotted. So that is the advantage of using a Mapbox location. Okay, now we can also see this is one way to work on the maps. Okay, the other way to work on the maps is you can use map layers. Okay, so if you can go here, you can actually change the way your map is visualized in Tableau itself. One way is through Mapbox, the other way is through Tableau itself. You have a lot of way, like different layers. Like there is a dark layer which will convert your whole map into black and gray. Okay, so it's like the dark mode of your entire. It's like the dark mode in the map. Okay,